Hey, this is Doug from Foscale Models, and I just got this box from my buddy Jason Jensen, all the way from Colorado. And inside is the section that he built attached to the section that I built in parts 1 and 2. This is part 3 of our build, where I'll build something, send it to Jason, Jason builds something, sends it to me, until we get a complete structure. So the next part will be adding on to what he just built, which is a brick addition to the little clapboard section that I built. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet until I get a look at it. And then we can do some sketches and some planning and get to building. There we go. Check that out. So I originally built this clapboard section here, this little 3x3 area, and now Jason's added this scratch-built brick structure. And if you watch the previous video, you'll see how he built this and how he weathered the brick and painted it. And you know, it's one of those things where in person it's so much better than what you see in pictures and videos when you see good models. This is awesome. Wow. So this will be the base of our structure that we're going to add on to the existing structures that we already have. This is just a 16th inch MDF, which I've laser cut, but you could use task board or mat board and do the same kind of thing. What we want to do is make this look like a concrete structure. So to do that, we need to create a texture that looks like the formwork that was used when the concrete was poured. Some particularly older concrete structures, you'll see each horizontal line where a 2x10 or a 2x12 was placed and stacked and created the formwork to pour this concrete wall. Get our horizontal lines to represent the formwork that was used to pour the concrete, we're going to use painter's tape. This is blue painter's tape by 3M or whoever else makes it. Of course, you could use a lot thinner. We have this thick piece, so that's what we're using. And basically, you want to start at the top of your wall and then come down about 1/8 inch or so. And you could make tick marks all the way down, but you can kind of eye it. And a lot of times they would use different size boards, so it's kind of more interesting if the spacing's a little irregular. Then we're going to take the same color that was on our base color, and we're going to reapply it, but only at the edge of the tape. So we're just trying to build up a little thickness to create that line where concrete would have poured between two boards, or seep through a little bit. It would creep out, it wouldn't leak out. So we're just building up the paint at the edge of the tape with a nice wide brush. Very quickly, and then we're going to pull this away, and it's going to leave a textured line there. Now, of course, this will dry the same color once it's done. Then we're just going to keep continuing, and you could reuse the same piece of tape a few times until it loses its adhesion. So again, I'm just applying some thick paint at the edge of the tape. You can see how pretty quick it goes. I'm gonna flip my tape because we're getting a little messy there. And again, if you feel you need to use a pencil line or something like that, or tick marks for the tape, do that. But chances are you can eye it. Try to get a little closer here so you can see what's going on. Now this technique is not mine. My friend Hal Reynolds showed me this technique. He's used it on a couple of his models and kits at Atlantic Scale Modelers to great effect. I mean, it really Really, you can make any surface, wood, this is MDF, task board, laser board, whatever it is you're working with, to look like concrete pretty quickly. Okay, we've got all of our horizontal formwork lines in. It'll be a little hard to see. There, you can see it there a bit. And the other sides we've done. Now, in a building like this, the formwork boards, of course, wouldn't be, say this is a 30-foot building. You wouldn't have planks 30 feet. They'd probably be using 12-footers and 20-footers, so there'd be seams randomly, vertically. And we don't need to do every one, but we should do a few, just so we imply that they're not all these 30-foot long boards that were used as formwork. So we're going to take a HO scale 2x10. So this is basically how they would have poured the concrete anyway. And between the two horizontal lines, we're going to put our board, and take this concrete color yet again, and just push it up against the board on the wall. And that will give us yet another seam, but this time vertically. And it will break up the horizontal boards. So we'll do 1 or 2 or 3 of those. We don't need to go crazy. We'll do a few more. So you want this down pretty flat against the wood so you don't get the paint underneath. And just against the edge. And this will show up better when we start putting on our weathering. Okay, we've sprayed the painted structure with a matte finish to seal our concrete color because we're going to be applying some washes and weathering to it. But before we do that, we can carve in some cracks in the concrete. You don't need to go too crazy, unless of course this is an abandoned structure or something like that, but just a couple will help add some scale. Okay, that about wraps up this little concrete section here. I've also added a wood structure on top. This is board and batten, and I've skipped showing you that because you can see how I did woodwork in part 1, and it would just be kind of repetitive. But this will be added to the structure here, like this, and you can see we still have something we could do here, lots of details on the roof, and some scenery in upcoming episodes. And once this is completed,
Don't forget, we're going to auction off this model where you'll be able to purchase it, and all the proceeds will go to the Humane Society of the United States to help animals in need. So thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. This is getting packed up in a box. It's already logged 3,858 miles, so it'll be interesting to see how far it's gone when it's done. See you next time. Thanks.